Hey guys, I'm going to explain your very first project, which is the collage project. So I'm going to go over everything with you. And if you have any questions, please just put them in the chat and I will pause this instructional video and answer them. So first off, the reason why I'm doing an instructional video instead of telling you the instructions live is for a couple reasons. One, I realize that some students are having issues keeping their computers connected to the internet. And it's really hard to follow along when you're being kicked on and off of Google Meet. So this way, you can always go back and watch the instructions again to make sure you're not missing anything. The other reason why I'm doing it is because some students are absent and then they can watch the instructions as well and get the exact same instructions as if they were there that day. And the last reason why I'm really doing this is because by uploading this to YouTube, you can actually turn on, or I can turn on when showing this video, the closed captions in Spanish. So anyone who would benefit from the closed captions being in Spanish could benefit from it. Now, I wanted to let you know I also have been kind of updating the website to be a little bit more English language learner friendly. So we do have a few students who would benefit from having Spanish translations. Now, I did do these Spanish translations by Google Translate. So I can't guarantee that they're perfect or that they make 100% sense, but like I can already see the numbers are messed up here. So I can go in and fix that. But if you see any errors like that you can point out to me that really need to be fixed, like, oh, miss, that does not make any sense. It should say something like this. I would greatly appreciate it. I mean, I am using Google Translate. I'm a little out of my league. So I'm doing the best I can right now. So I'm going to go over everything for you guys. I will fix this before the video airs. So this will say 246 and this will say, 135. So I'll fix that. But like I said, if you see any major errors because you speak both English and Spanish fluently, I would really greatly appreciate any updates you could give. So this is our schedule for this week, August 17th to the 21st. So Monday's 246, and then Tuesday 135. This is going to be standard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This week on Friday will be periods 135. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. We do not have advisory on Friday though, so that's good. So just, keep an eye on the schedule. Okay, the agenda for Monday and Tuesday, if you're in 246, 135, is we're going to go over the collage project and then expectations and grading. Wednesday, we're going to continue Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to continue working on the collage project. And then Friday, my periods 135, we are going to talk about art materials and art history that I spoke with classes 246 last week. Okay. So now going down to our project. Our very first project is going to be a collage project. Now this collage is actually going to be somewhat of a self-portrait, meaning that it's going to be about you and who you are as a person. So our theme is identity. So it's kind of a self-portrait, but you're not expected to draw yourself, okay? I would never assign that as the very first assignment in a first year class. So our objective, this is basically the objective of what I expect for you to accomplish by the end of this project. So it says students will create a collage style project that represents their identity. Students will use different mediums, which is materials, including paper, pencil, markers, colored pencils, pen, and photos. Students are not allowed to use paint for this project. Now I've supplied you with the paper, the pencils, and the colored pencils. If you want to use pens or markers, if you have them, you're more than welcome to. You can also use photos, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes about exactly what kind of photos and how many photos you can use, because this is primarily a drawing collage. Now, these standards here, these are the California art standards. So this project pretty much covers these 4 standards. So if you're interested in knowing your art standards, you can go ahead and take a look at those. Resources, the Collage to Canvas Think Sheet, which I'll show you what that is in a second, says click on the link to open a Google slide. You will need to make a copy of it into your own drive so you can edit it. You will need to turn this into me. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm actually going to copy link address, and I'm going to open up it in a new page. Oops. Okay, so this is exactly what you should see because I've opened it up with another Google account. So you should see this right here, and it should be set to view. Oops. Okay, so it's not. Okay, I'll open it up with my Vincent Van Gogh account. Okay, so this is exactly what you will see. So you will see it to where you could type and click on here, but it's set to view only, so you actually can't type, but it does show that there is a text box there. So what you need to do in order to actually fill this in is you need to go up to File and go down to Make a Copy, and then just click Entire Presentation or select a size. It doesn't really matter because it's only one slide, but you're going to copy this into your drive. You can keep it named as copy of, or what you do need to do though is add your name to the end. So no matter what, you need to add your name onto it. If you want to keep the copy of or delete that, you can. That's up to you. I recommend deleting it, but you should have your name added to the end. Put it into your drive. If you have folders in your drive, such as your art folder and things like that, and we'll talk about drives later on, then you just save this. It will actually, as soon as you click save, it will open it up now from your drive. So now you'll notice you have all these tools. And this is really helpful because now you can click here and actually type on it. Okay, so there's a few questions here. What is your favorite color? What is your favorite food? What is your favorite thing to do on weekends? What is something you are good at? What is your favorite place to be? Or, yeah, what is or where is your favorite place to be? List 3 other interesting or unique things about yourself. And then you can actually answer them here. So this is one text box. If you want to create 3 separate text boxes, that's fine. Or you can just type it all in here. And then it says use the spaces below to create 3 potential thumbnails for your pieces. And we'll talk about that in a second. The last question is notes. Use the space below to record any thoughts, feelings, inspiration, or other information you think may be helpful as you create your final piece. Now, for this part here, your 3 potential thumbnails, what you can do is just on regular line paper or some kind of scratch paper, I don't even care. Sketch out what you would kind of plan as your thumbnail or as your collage. That's called a thumbnail. A really small plan of your artwork is a thumbnail. So you would roughly sketch it out. So if you wanted to add like some flowers onto your collage, you don't have to draw the flowers in details. You can kind of put like little circles and label it flowers or something like that. A thumbnail is a rough draft, okay? You don't put all the time and effort and details in it. You only spend 3 to 5 minutes on each thumbnail. You shouldn't be spending, 30, 40, 50 minutes on one thumbnail. It's really rough. So what I would like you to do is to draw out your 3 thumbnails on like some kind of paper. I don't care if it's line paper or if you have blank printer paper, if you have a sketchbook, whatever paper you have, okay? Draw them out. You can do it in pen or pencil. I don't care. You can add color to them or leave it just with the pen or pencil. It's really up to you. But like I said, please don't spend more than 5 minutes on each one. Then you're going to take a picture of it, either using your cell phone or your Chromebook, and you're going to insert the picture here. How you insert pictures is pretty simple. You just go up here to the little picture icon. And if you're taking a picture on your Chromebook, it would be in your drive. Or you can even just take a picture right away and it'll turn on your camera from your Chromebook. And then you can just hold it up and then try and like crop it so it just stays in these 3 boxes. Don't have it take over the whole page, okay? So you can do it straight from your Chromebook. I know the Chromebook cameras aren't the best, and that's okay. This is just for your thumbnails, okay? This is not supposed to be a high definition photo. It doesn't really matter. When we go to turn in our actual projects, those pictures will need to be a little bit nicer, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So you're going to fill out all of this, and this is going to be step 1. This is going to help give you some ideas of what could possibly go on your collage. So I do have it actually in Spanish right here. So I did my best at having it translated. I know it's a little messy, but the red is in the translation for you to fill in. So if you're a Spanish speaker, please use that one. And you can type in Spanish or type in English. You could even use Google Translate, kind of like what I did, to translate it into English. And we'll see how great it translates. Okay. So you're going to click on this, you're going to download it, you're going to make a copy of it into your drive, and you're going to fill it in. You are going to turn this into me, and I will put the assignment block on this page afterwards. Okay, so talking a little bit more about the project and our project specifications. The size is going to be the 12 by 18 sheet of paper. That is the medium-sized paper that I gave you guys. So there was 3 different sizes. You have the really large sheet of paper. That's 18 by 24 inches. Then you have the medium size, which is 12 by 18. And then you have the small, which is 9 by 12. So you're going to use 1 sheet of the medium-sized paper, okay? Please don't use any other size because I gave you enough paper for all of your projects. And it's really important that you don't change the size because then you won't have the correct size for a later project, okay? Materials, all of the images on the collage should be hand-drawn. You guys should not be tracing. It's very easy to tell when somebody traces, okay, guys? So please make sure you are drawing them. I do know this is your first assignment, and so I don't expect everybody to be, a master, but I do expect you to actually hand draw your images and not trace them. If you wish to use photos or images cut from magazines or printed offline, or if you actually have photos, I know a lot of students in the past, family has been a really big and important part to them and who they are. So they wanted to put a family photo into their collage. That's perfectly fine. Make sure if you're using an original family photo, not one scanned and printed, that you are not ruining an original. So please don't glue it on or anything like that. I don't want you to get in trouble with your parents. So you are allowed to use some images that you've cut from magazines, if you even have such things, or printed offline is more common if you have access to a printer, or like I said, a real family photo. Just make sure that you're not destroying an original. Also, do not have more than 2 printed images. So this is really about drawing, okay? So I'm allowing you guys to use some images from magazines or printed, things like that, but only 2 of them. So you should not have more than 2 printed images, okay? And I don't want them large, so they have to be smaller than 3 by 5. That's like a standard photo size. 4 by 6, I would allow if it's like an actual photo of like a family photo or something like that. But it should not really be larger than 3 by 5. 4 by 6 is pushing it, okay? So please make sure you only use 2 or less and that they are not large because I don't want you guys printing out giant photos, 8.5 by 11, and going, oh, my paper's filled up. That's not how this is going to work, okay? Materials or mediums. You can use just about any art materials that you wish other than paint. The main mediums that you'll be using are pencils, color pencils, paper, and if you have pens and markers that you want to use, okay? I know you have pencils, colored pencils, and the paper because I've supplied it for you. Images. Your project should reflect who you are as a person and an individual. What makes you? Who are you? Okay? What makes you who you are. So this is really about you, the things that you're like, the things that you're interested in, things that just make you the person that you are. If you are really passionate about taking care of animals and things like that, then that should be in your collage. If you're really into sports and things like that, that should be in your collage. So this is really about you, okay? Research. You will be required to fill out a worksheet that will help you come up with the ideas for your collage. That was the worksheet that was listed above. Here are some key terms that you should know, so look these up. And then I've actually put some really cool examples here because I really want you guys to get very creative with this assignment, okay? I'm giving you this week and next week to work on it, so I expect it to be just really creative and a lot of fun. So if you click on here, we'll look at these images. I know this is kind of small, but you can kind of see how they've put like different images on the sides and like different people and things like that. No, that's not Donald Trump. I know it looks like him. This one's really cool. So they took an image of Frida, and this is something that you could even do with like a family photo or a photo offline or something like that. And they kind of broke it and then added other elements to it. So you can do something in this style, but make sure all the images reflect you and who you are as a person, okay? This one's really cool. It has a lot of torn paper, which you guys can add different layers of paper, but remember everything needs to be hand drawn except for two images. So there's like a guitar in here, there's water, there looks like there's a scarf, some material, like keys. So there's a bunch of different really neat images in here and even text. And yes, you guys can write things and use text, but try to make it creative. Don't just write out a paragraph, okay? If you have a favorite quote or a favorite line from a poem or something like that, or a song, you can definitely incorporate it in here as long as it's school appropriate. Just make sure that you do it in a creative, fun way. This one's pretty cool because, well, I like dogs, but you could see that they put a bunch of different images of dogs, and there's like a burrito, and there's like some jewelry, and there's um, a butterfly and sunglasses. They put the sunglasses like on the person. Space, more like burritos. So this person likes like dogs and food and shopping. And this one's really fun. Like they even did some stuff in the background. In the past, none of my students really do anything in the background. So they would have something like this with all these images, and then the background would just be white and really plain and boring. Doing something like this where you have this colorful background with like a pattern really makes it pop, and it's just really nice. It draws it all together. So here's another one. This was actually done by a fifth grader. And as you can see, there's only limited like actual images. Most everything is, there's a lot of drawings and things in here. They even did their name, which was really cool. And they actually put themselves in here, like a half image of themselves. And this was done by a fifth grader. So if a fifth grader can do something this colorful and fun and neat, then you guys should be able to do something interesting with your background. This one's really cool. It's definitely advanced, and I don't expect this level of drawing from you guys in your first project. But you can see there's so many images in here. So this is another style of collage that you can do. There's a bunch of flowers. Obviously, there's the skull. There's like birds and tigers, and there's trees. And this one's just really interesting how they incorporated all the images. And you can do something like this if you really want to push yourself. You can technically leave your collage black and white. However, unless it's something really amazing like this, you really want to add color so it pops, okay? So you are going to have 2 weeks to do this, which means you're going to have this week and next week. It is going to be due on the 28th, so August 28th for everyone. And I will add that to the calendar to reflect that. And the way I'm kind of thinking about having you guys turn this in is possibly either Flipgrid or Padlet. I haven't fully decided yet. I'm checking out Flipgrid, seeing what it's all about. So far, it looks really cool. So I might have your actual artwork, your finished collage, turned in on either Flipgrid or Padlet, but your collage to collage, not college, collage to canvas think sheet, that document, I'm going to have you turn that in here, okay, on Power School. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. And you guys will have the next 2 weeks to work on this. So I expect it to reflect the amount of time that I'm giving you guys. So we technically have about, let's see, how many hours is that in class? So I think it's like 240 minutes, right? Oh, no, it's more than that. It's 320 minutes. So it's about a little over 5 hours. So I expect you guys to spend all that time working on this project and really putting that effort in. If it looks like you've only spent, an hour or two and you traced it all, that's going to be pretty obvious in your artwork. So please don't rush it. Please don't trace. Spend the amount of time that I'm giving you guys on this project to work on it. Okay. And if you have any questions, please let me know.